welcome to 2026. Sorry, it's been such a long time since I've updated the 351 swap 240SX. 2025 was a very hectic year, but in a very good way. I work 2 jobs and flip cars on the side. Everything possible to be able to afford this stupid hobby. But 2025 was a glimpse that's going to be totally worth it. I'm stoked for 2026. Here's like a quick recap of 2025. a really phenomenal 2025 season. I did have a slew of setbacks. I was running D585 coils, which ended up being the result of this ignition breakup issue. And I ended up switching out to actual LS coils with some better wires. Those are all LS. You know, I tried messing with the crank signal. I thought it was a crank trigger issue or a wiring issue, but nope. It turned out to be these stupid things right here. So it took me a couple events to get that figured out, a couple dyno sessions. I still haven't been to the dyno with these coils on there, and I'm noticing this thing is broken, so that's cool. So I'm going to have to replace that coil. That's awesome. Just finding that out just now. Never ending with this thing. Before my first even drift event, I ripped that bad boy right out of the back of the car. So Grannis Racing has a new diff cover which uses 4 bolts instead of 2, so upgraded that. And then the other biggest issue I had was gear ratio. I'm running a Super T10 with a 488 with 373s. That T10 was geared too long with the 373s. Second was really long. It was as long as most people's third gear. And then third gear was about 125 miles an hour, and it would just bog no matter what, unless I was doing a very high-speed track. So these 513s, fourth gear should be, about 107-ish miles an hour. Third gear, I think, is going to put me at like 75 miles an hour. So all the tracks in Colorado, I should be shifting between third and fourth, which is going to be a much easier shift than from third to second. So I'm super stoked on that. But on the positive, my radiator with the mechanical fan, that was a huge success, even on 100-degree days. This thing never got above 190 degrees. On a warm day, this thing wouldn't even hit operating temperature at thermostat. Dry sump, that gave me huge confidence. In previous years, I did shear distributor gears. I've heard of other people just shearing oil pump shafts. So having this, I had to play around with some spring ratios to get this set up, but overall, good oil pressure, no issues there. Going into 2026, swapping the gears, going to have a second diff, so I'll have a 373 diff and a 513 diff. We're going to port the intake manifold. I'll probably do a larger throttle body. I found out I'd go a little tighter on the valve lash. That'll probably be in the next video. So I'm going to set that up. My alternator was a little underdriven, so at idle the car was not charging. So I'm actually going to add a second battery and then either increase the crank pulley size or lower the alternator pulley size. It was at 1,000 RPM this thing starts charging, so it doesn't need to be much. I did the pulleys off of Jones Racing. I didn't want to overdrive it at high RPM, but overall, Ford engine did amazing. So just ran lap after lap, stayed nice and cool, lots of power. And yeah, stay tuned and I'll try and do more updates now that I got a GoPro, and hopefully I'm not fixing the car as much.